What you're about to hear doesn't appear for everyone, only for those vibrating at the precise frequency required to receive it. Thoth didn't leave behind religions. He left behind a code, an alignment, a vibrational key that unlocks the only real connection to God energy. This isn't a metaphor. It's not a ritual. It's spiritual technology, and it's already inside you. Your energy field is the channel. Your power centers are the portals. And your vibration right now is determining what you access or what you block. Most people pray, meditate, visualize, but they don't vibrate what they're asking for. That's why nothing changes. Because God doesn't respond to what you want. God responds to what you are. And Thoth warned, the word is vibration, and vibration creates reality. Today, you'll see how your body, your aura, and your vibrational signature shape everything. Your relationships, your health, your prosperity, your faith. Even if you haven't realized it yet, stay until the end. Because once this code is activated, you won't need anything outside yourself to connect with the divine. You'll remember what you've always been. And finally, you'll start vibrating God energy, the substance of creation. God energy is the substance from which all forms emerge. Consciousness is the invisible mold that gives them direction. Your body is more than flesh, bone, and organs. It's a temple, not in some vague symbolic sense, but literally a living, sensitive sanctuary that vibrates. A structure designed to channel the invisible. Everything you feel, think, believe, and carry inside doesn't stay confined to your mind. It moves through you, flowing through invisible channels, activating specific centers, and shaping the field you emit, without you even realizing it. In Eastern traditions, these centers are called chakras, 7 main energy points running along your spine, each connecting to different dimensions of your existence: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. But you don't need to be a monk or study Sanskrit to feel this. You already do. When something chokes you up and blocks your throat, when your stomach tightens, even when you're not hungry, when your heart vibrates at the sight of someone, these aren't random sensations. They're direct manifestations of energy flowing or blocked in these centers. The Egyptians knew this, though they used different language. The initiated priests of Thoth understood the body as a sacred instrument, a bridge between heaven and earth. Everything done in the temples was meant to purify, align, and activate that bridge. There was no separation between body and spirit. The body was the channel, and the rituals, many of which remain hidden to this day, were designed to let divine energy flow from above to below, from below to above, like a living spiral in ascension. That's why, even without speaking, you communicate everything happening inside you. Your presence speaks. Your field says more than any words ever could. And this isn't some mystical, untouchable concept. It's tangible. Have you ever walked into a room and felt a heaviness in the air? Talked to someone and felt drained for no reason? Been around someone whose presence felt like light? That's not just a feeling. That's real-time energetic reading. Your body recognizing their vibration, their field responding to yours. But here's what few discuss. This presence isn't built with pretty words or random techniques. It's built with vibrational coherence. When you start aligning your energy centers, every part of your life begins to fall into place. What was disordered reorganizes. What was stuck starts to flow. This doesn't require perfection. It requires awareness. Because once you realize your body is your first field of manifestation, everything changes. You stop trying to change the outer world and start adjusting the vibration within. But here's the crucial point. Most people live completely disconnected from this. They don't realize that anxiety, chronic sadness, exhaustion, frequent physical pain aren't just random symptoms. They're messages, alerts, silent screams saying something is out of balance in your energy centers. You can take medicine, go to therapy, pray, but if you don't fix the vibration creating the symptom, it all comes back. It repeats, because the body is far too intelligent to be ignored. The good news, these centers aren't shut forever. They're just waiting to be acknowledged, waiting for you to look at them, waiting for you to come back and inhabit your body with attention, presence, and listening. Because each chakra holds a gift, a power, a function. And when they awaken, when energy rises up the spine like a river of light, you can no longer pretend you're just matter. At that moment, your body's vibration does something few understand. It begins to attract what matches your frequency, and that changes everything. Because now, you're no longer chasing things. Life starts responding to the vibration you're holding. And that vibration starts in a place most ignore, your throat. The voice as a frequency emitter. Through your throat, you don't just emit words, you emit frequency. But even before sound comes out, something is already in the air. Literally. Because before the word comes presence. Before sound comes the field. And that field has a name. Aura. The aura is like an invisible cloak surrounding you entirely. It's not some abstract esoteric idea. It's real, tangible, sensitive. It's an electromagnetic field generated by your body, your emotions. What you think and feel and believe this. People pick up on it. Even unconsciously, everyone is reading your aura all the time. That's why you feel drawn to someone for no reason. You avoid people even when they smile. It's the vibration being read, and no one escapes this. Science is just beginning to study this phenomenon with technical terms, but the ancients already knew. Thoth saw it. He saw colors shift when someone was in pain, in grief, in expansion. The Egyptians saw it. The shamans see it. And the truth is simple. Your aura changes. It reflects exactly what's happening inside you, even when you try to hide it. Sadness shifts the tone of your field. Guilt contracts it. Anger fragments it. Fear darkens it. Love expands it. Gratitude brightens it. There's no point in smiling on the outside if something inside is dying. The aura gives it away. This field isn't fixed. It pulses. It responds to every recurring thought, every deep belief you carry, every emotion you feed. If you believe you're not enough, that frequency spreads through your aura like an invisible perfume, and life starts responding to that. You attract situations that confirm that feeling, not because the universe is against you, but because it always mirrors what you're emitting. And the emission comes from your field. That's why Thoth said, know thyself, because as long as you don't know what you're vibrating, you'll keep calling destiny what is actually just an echo. The field doesn't lie. It vibrates what you truly are. And that vibration is your energetic signature, unique, non-transferable, unmistakable. When someone feels your presence and can't explain why, that's what they're sensing. You entered their vibrational space and left something behind, a trace, an impression. And this happens all the time, with everyone, everywhere. The more you live out of balance, the weaker your field becomes. That's why some people walk through life as if invisible. Even in a crowd, their aura is dim, fragmented, powerless. And there's no point in forcing charisma, using positive words, faking confidence. The aura can't be faked. It only lights up when there's internal coherence, when what you feel, think, say, and do vibrate at the same frequency. And that alignment starts in the heart. The heart, the throne of divine manifestation. It's in the center of your chest that vibration organizes. That's where energy amplifies or blocks. When the heart chakra is active, the aura expands in range, gains strength, shifts in color. You literally become magnetic. The energy becomes noticeable before you even arrive. Your presence takes up space. And that space isn't just visual, it's energetic. This isn't about beauty, appearance, or status. It's about vibration. True power begins in the invisible. And when that happens, something surprising rises from the center of your being. The heart, where the divine manifests. The exact point where everything aligns, organizes, and gains strength. This point has a name, and it's not metaphorical. It's your heart, not just the physical organ, but the energy center pulsing in your chest. It's not just responsible for pumping blood. It radiates electromagnetic fields so powerful they can be measured meters away from your body. Studies show the heart's field is thousands of times stronger than the brain's. This isn't esotericism. It's energetic physiology. It's science. But beyond physical power, the heart is the portal through which the divine manifests. It's where you feel the presence of something greater. It's where you realize you're truly alive. When you're connected to your heart, you feel a quiet expansion that needs no explanation, a peace that comes out of nowhere, a gentle warmth, a certainty beyond logic. That's where courage lives, where compassion lives, where the truth of your being lives. It's in the heart that I am vibrates, and it's through the heart that your energetic signature transforms. Because as long as you live in fear, pride, pain, this center stays closed. But when you allow energy to flow with love, it opens like a flower, and everything changes. The heart doesn't judge. It doesn't think like the mind. It just feels. And what it feels, it vibrates. What it vibrates, it attracts. What it attracts shapes your reality. This is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. The heart is where earth energy, dense, vital, instinctive, rises through your feet, passing through the lower centers. Heaven energy, subtle, intuitive, creative, descends through your crown. When these two currents meet in your chest, a third field is created, a field of coherence, where you start living what you feel, not just what you think. That's why people who vibrate from the heart transform spaces just by entering them. They don't need to assert themselves, prove anything. Their energy is enough. Because the heart's vibration isn't aggressive. It doesn't persuade. It transmits, it embraces, it heals. And that healing starts with you. It doesn't matter how much you study spirituality. If your heart is closed, nothing gets in. Nothing blooms. Nothing vibrates. The energy stagnates. But when it opens, even for a moment, you remember who you are. You feel it. You recognize it. You reactivate the frequency that's always been yours. That's where intuition reveals itself. When you feel you need to follow a certain path, when one choice expands you and another contracts you, that's your heart speaking. When you can't explain it but know it's the way, that's your guidance. Because the mind confuses, but the heart knows. It's always known. And when you start living from that frequency, your entire field shifts. The aura brightens. The centers align. The energy flows in a fluid, vibrant, creative way. And all of this directly affects your reality. Because the heart, besides being the throne of the divine, is also your greatest transmitter. It's the center of your most silent, personal power. And when it beats with truth, It begins to command your reality with a precision no external technique can match. But there's a secret almost no one notices, a silent portal, forgotten, overlooked. It's been in you since the first moment of life and will remain until the last. And yet, hardly anyone uses it consciously. That portal is breath. Breath, the forgotten portal. Thoth never used words carelessly. Every syllable, every sound was pure vibration. He understood that creation didn't begin with an image, but with a breath. And this breath, called prana, ruach, pneuma by the ancients, is the invisible bridge between body and spirit, thought and manifestation, silence and creation. Breathing isn't just about survival. Breathing is vibrating, and those who breathe with presence activate the code. Breath is the guiding thread between everything you feel, think, believe, create. It's through breath that your field organizes. When you breathe, fast, anxious, shallow, your field fragments. You disconnect from the now. The mind races to the future. The body locks in the past, and the soul loses center. But when you breathe with awareness, everything returns to place. The mind quiets, the body relaxes, the spirit descends. And in this state, you access the divine, not as a concept, but as direct experience. How often do you pause to observe your breath throughout the day? How often do you feel breathing as a sacred gift, not just an automatic function? Most people live on autopilot. They rush, react, consume, sleep, repeat. And in this cycle, the breath becomes short, shallow, forgotten. But it's always there, waiting to be remembered, waiting for you to come back inside, because all real transformation starts there. And it's in the now that God reveals himself, not in the past or future, but in the space between one inhale and the next. It's in that emptiness where the ego falls silent, where thought loses strength. That presence appears, a subtle, warm, quiet force that can only be felt, not explained. Some call it light, others call it love. Thoth called it wisdom. It's the original vibration of the universe, always available, but it only appears when the mind's noise gives way to inner listening. When silence arrives, the code begins to speak, and it doesn't speak with words, it vibrates. Final activation: I vibrate God with my energy. If this message resonated with you, declare in the comments, I vibrate God with my energy. This isn't just an affirmation, it's a reminder for your soul. And before you go, if you feel called to support this work, check the first pinned comment to contribute. Your support helps spread this awakening energy worldwide. A special guided activation awaits you next. Click the video on screen now to go deeper. You are the code. You are the channel. You are the divine, embodied. Now, stop searching and start vibrating.